Hey everybody, this is Ron. Beside me is Winston. We're in front of my house, one of my houses, and the purpose of this visit today with my contractor is to go through the house and take a look at what he proposes to charge for what I propose needs to be done, because it seems we have a conflict. And before this day is over, one of us will remain standing and one of us won't, but the conflict will be over. So we're just going to go through the pieces, and you'll get a chance to see what this house needs to be fixed. And we'll talk about, we're not going to go through every single piece and put a price on it. He's got a whole estimate for the entire job done, and I'm here to find out what we can do to get that price down and probably make some changes based on his visit through it and what I think should be done after we take a real fine look at it. Now I want you to know a little bit about this house before we go in. I bought this house 9 years ago. I took over the loan subject to. At that time it was about $74,000, I think, something like that. And I've had one tenant in it ever since, and the reason we're here today is because that tenant buyer just recently moved out. They gave me a few $1,000s down back then, and get this, in 9 years I've done no repairs on this house because I always make the tenant buyer do the work with their own money. It's part of the condition of their purchase. So they've had the option to buy it all this time and they chose not to. Now, however, I got to go in and pay the price for not doing any work in 9 years. So let's go see what kind of shape this house is in and what it's going to cost me to get it back in shape. See you inside. All right, here we are on the inside, and I think we just start by just saying that I asked Winston to paint the whole interior. There ain't no sense trying to pick and choose what we're going to paint. We're going to paint it all. And that includes these ceilings because they're getting kind of grody. We got some paper patches we got to do up there. In fact, take a look at this tile down here. We got real tile down here on the floor, so I think what we're going to do is just, can you clean this grout up?
Yes, sir.
Make it look good?
Yes, sir.
Make it look new? Do I get any credit for the bed? You can have the bed.
Yeah?
Yeah?
I'll put it right there in my doghouse.
I think it's some kind of trade-in credit, don't I?
Credit.
No?
Credit for bed.
Okay. In fact, swing around there and shoot that blind there. I'm going to pull all the blinds out of the house, and I want rose-colored blinds in this house, pending approval from my female decorator. Since I'm a male, I don't know crap about decorating, so I have to get final approval from my decorator on that. But I see rose-colored blinds. I'm tired of looking at white blinds. I think we ought to get some color in this house. Okay. All right? And of course, we're going to paint the baseboard and all of that. And all of these vents up here, like that one, see how grody that looks? That's either got to get cleaned or it's got to be replaced. If it can't be cleaned, one of the two.
Painted is the easiest way. Then they're consistent.
As long as it looks new when it's done. All right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's go into the kitchen. Should have a light switch here somewhere. Yeah, here's one. This is great. We stick our fingers in here and we get electrocuted. Okay. All right, we got it. Okay, the floor's all right in here. Walls are going to get painted. We're obviously going to put a blind here. But let's take a look at these kitchen cabinets here, Winston, because this is something we are going to have to discuss. You see, if it were up to me, I'd leave these countertops. But since I've already had strong input from my decorator that they got to go, they're probably going to have to go. So tell me what you were telling me about how they got some really cool looking countertops that look like Corian, but they're not really Corian. You can't tell hardly the difference.
Well, Home Depot and Lowe's both have the rolled edge countertops, which is just rounded on the edge, and that's it. The Home Depot has recently started to sell one that has what's called a double OG edge. Yeah. And you never see that in laminate. So the natural instinct when you first see it is just to assume it's granite. I've been in a house recently, and the only way that I've noticed visually that it wasn't granite was that they had a side splash that looked like laminate, and I was wondering how they got a laminate that looked so much like the granite that was on the top until I touched it.
So it's not going to have these sharp edges.
No.
It's going to have rounded edges. It's going to look like granite.
It comes out, I mean, it's got a unique profile.
And basically it's going to bring this kitchen to look like a brand new kitchen in a modern house, right?
Yes.
All right. I want you guys to understand that this really isn't but about $140,000 or $150,000 house we're working on. So, I don't come in here and put granite countertops and do all the things that we would do in the higher end houses, but that doesn't mean we can't make them look like their higher-end house with a very small amount of money, right?
Yes.
Okay, all this wallpaper's got to go. As much as I like it, I think it's kind of cool myself, but then again, I'm old and outdated. Since it's coming off the wall, probably a good idea to replace it. And we're probably going to wind up replacing all of these appliances. So we got a dishwasher in here. Gosh, it don't look like it's more than about 20 years old. Maybe we could save it, eh?
Yeah, we might be able to salvage it.
Yeah, right. It's got to go. Got to put a range in here. Got to put a refrigerator in here. And you know what? I think we ought to. I'm gonna get my decorator's opinion here, but I think we ought to probably see what stainless steel would cost compared to just black or
Yes.
white. Because man, stainless steel really classes up the kitchen.
Yeah, and the ones we put in the last house were a stainless steel, like what they call a silver mist. It's a
But they weren't really stainless steel.
right. But the good part about it is stainless steel, you can't put a magnet on. So you have a refrigerator, you can't put any magnets on. But if you have this painted, you can put a magnet on it, and if it gets scratched, they have this touch-up paint. Whereas if you scratch stainless, which isn't likely,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
There's a few reasons for it.
All right. What about wallpaper in here? I'm a fan of wallpaper. I love wallpaper. That's all there is to it. I think it really dolls up a house. What do you think? We're going to tear this out of here, right?
Yes. Now, if you wanted to put a border up in here, you could do that. But the problem is that it's a vaulted ceiling. So I would maybe not do the whole room, but maybe do it in spots. Do that like they have. You could do something there just to add color to the kitchen.
You know what? I'm going to let you deal with the decorator on that. You guys figure that out. Okay? I just want some paper in this kitchen because I think it sells better. I think it looks better. I think it's more homey. And I got paper in my kitchen. All right. Let's go here to the living room. All right. We're in the living room with this fancy fireplace we have here. Do we have anything down to do anything with that or not?
No, it's in excellent condition. Everything was mounted pretty well. Something I did not mention that is noted is you have the surround sound already wired in.
We
Your
do?
speakers. Yep. Plug the system in here.
Oh, we
and
have
you've
no
got
speakers.
spots for speakers.
Yeah.
There's 1, 2, and I believe there was another one maybe in the kitchen.
Well, I think I'm going to leave that to the owner occupant.
Okay.
All right. We're just going to clean this up. Is that on the list?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Guys, by the time that you stage this house and put some stuff on the top of this cheap mantle here when it's done, it'll take away the fact that that looks like a cheap mantle, and it does look like a cheap mantle to me. Probably because it's a cheap mantle would be my guess. But I'm not going to replace this mantle. In fact, little projects like that, I kind of like to leave to the owner occupant and let them worry about it. But look at this carpet. Here's what we're going to do with the carpet. It's all coming out, of course. And Winston's going to put 9/16" pad in here. And he's going to put it in here so it looks as good as you can make pad look.
Right.
So that when somebody comes in and looks at the house, they know that they can pick their own color carpet to go in it. And also, it deters the thieves from wanting to break in and steal all the brand new carpet. If it's not in here, they can't take it. And in fact, I might make the same decision on appliances. I'm just not sure yet. What I found out about appliances is every time I put them in a house, they have their own. Every time I don't put them in a house, they want them in it. So I might just elect to leave them out totally, fix the holes, and we'll deal with that when the buyer comes along. We'll decide at that point. So don't put appliances on your list. It will not be part of your bid. I know we'll have to add it if we have it. Okay?
Something to consider when you put just the pad in is high heels hanging up in it. So we'll run some rosin paper or something like that to take down in the main traffic areas.
Okay?
So that we don't have torn
My
spots.
guess is there won't be anybody looking at this house wearing high heels. Okay, here we are in the bathroom. Floor's great, it's tile floor, going to clean the grout up. We're going to replace these handles with L-shaped handles. We're just going to keep the door, right? Paint them?
Yes, sir.
All right, now we got a problem. We got brown tile on the floor and blue tile on the wall. And my decorator tells me brown and blue don't go very good together. So, Winston, right off the top of your head, what do you think it would cost to replace this tile on this wall here with some brownish tile? Maybe put some flowers in it. Maybe put a flower border across there or something like that. Your best guess?
500 to 800, depending on where you want to put it.
5 to 800, depending on what I want to pay. Well, I want to pay the 500.
What you want to put in there?
Oh. Okay. And you're going to, what are we going to do about this plumbing here? Plumbing is all right?
You're gonna have to. That's why the hole in the kitchen backs up to this.
Yeah.
We need to basically cut that off and cut it to the right length and put it back on. But if you're gonna do the shower, then that's not a big deal at all.
You mean this thing here?
Yeah, they left it too long basically, and then when they put the fitting on
Can't
it,
you unscrew that and put a flange behind it?
you could do that.
Well, that would make sense to me. It looked better anyway. All right, so we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do about this wall because my decorators say it's a no-no. There's no way to paint this, right?
No, we can paint it.
You can paint it, but will it look good?
Good enough. We've refinished the whole tub and the wall. You do it all
In
the same
white?
color.
In white?
White.
Is it refinishing the tub on your list?
I would do an off-white. I would do something tan that would pick up color in this, so that it just kind of flows.
Is the tub too?
You can.
Well, how would it look? Would it look all right?
Better than it does
You're
now.
talking about doing the tub and the wall same color?
Mm-hmm. You don't have to do that. We can do the tub white and do the wall a khaki.
Well, then why don't we proceed that way? I hate to, nothing wrong with the tile.
No,
All
absolutely
I do
not.
is change the color of it. All right.
This one looks better than the master. The master's pink and brown and pink there, and it's
This cabinet kind of looks out of place here to me. I think we probably need a medicine cabinet here, of course. But I think this sticks out too far myself. Plus, it's a head knocker. So maybe we can take this out of here. Maybe put a narrower kind of cabinet here,
yeah.
and get this thing out of here. Plus, probably wrong color for the bathroom anyway, right? I think it ought to be a white cabinet.
I think they had some extra kitchen cabinets.
That's what those are. Okay, I agree. All right, let's get out of here and go to the bedroom. All right, very small bedroom, beautiful green wall.
I think that's jaguar teal.
I think that's what it is. That's what it is. Sure it is. All right, so we're gonna. It's just a bedroom. We're gonna put a fan in here. We got that on the list, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, with a light, and new blind, new paint, new carpet, new ceiling. You're done. We're out of here.
New door. That's why I was changing.
New door.
Yeah.
Okay, new door. Yeah. All right. And that's pretty much the same for the other bedroom.
I think with a bracket in this closet here.
Yeah.
We'll do.
Bedrooms the same. Paint them, carpet them, blind them. Oh, we got a window.
That's the bed window.
Got a bad window? Okay, it's better now. So what, oh, it's fogged up? Yeah. Is that fog in between the panes?
Yes, it is.
Which will not pass FHA scrutiny, so in case you didn't know, if you got fog and they come in and inspect it, it's gotta go, because they won't give you a passing grade. Honestly, don't know how we're selling this house yet, but we might as well get it ready, assuming some cash buyer that's qualifying for a loan wants to come by and buy it. So that's what we're doing. So it's another bedroom. They all look alike, don't they? They all have walls, floors, ceilings, and some have carpet.
All right. The other thing in the FHA is smoke detector. You might want to mention that to everybody, that if you're looking to qualify buyer for FHA, you must have a smoke detector.
You must have a smoke detector in any house, whether you renovate it or not, especially if you put tenants in it, if you want to stay out of court. Smoke detectors, we should say.
Well, and if they were, depending on where you're at, if they require that it be a hardwired smoke detector, where, you know, not trusting on a battery power, that could be a significant cost, you know, if you have to run a special line for it.
All right, well, same thing, we got another bedroom, paint, carpet, clean, fixed, another bathroom here. Let's take a look at this bathroom. It's got border. Hey, we got a brown floor and a pink wall. We're getting up there in the world. You know what? I'm told this has got to go. I'm sure the ladies are laughing at me, but don't look all that bad to me. But if we're going to paint the other tile wall, then we got to paint this tile wall too. Obviously,
Finish this tub
and
out.
we're gonna finish that tub anyway because we got a chip in it over here. And the guys, we're not. All he's gonna do is get a little kit and fix that place right there and make the tub look like brand new. It'll shine, won't it?
We may just go ahead and paint. If you're going to do the tiles, we may as well go ahead and paint this tub as well. You're going to get a discount for 2 bathrooms. So.
Okay, so we're gonna get this tub. We're gonna get this tile either white or off-white, but it's gonna match. It's not gonna clash with the floor. and we're going to get this crappy looking rod out of here and get a new one up here. And when it gets staged, we're going to put a shower curtain here, and this place will look a lot better. And what are we going to do about this wallpaper?
I say leave it.
I don't see anything wrong with it. I'm okay with it.
It's got enough brown in it to pick up the floor.
Yeah.
It goes well with the paint. We get rid
Okay.
of the paint.
In fact, I don't even think this bathroom, you can probably skip painting this bathroom. It looks fine to me, am I wrong? And you're gonna clean this grout.
Yes, you got some streaking in the walls here, but
This bathroom will live. I'd rather, because if you paint this bathroom, you gotta take the paper down.
right. Well,
You're not
are you
gonna-
painting the ceiling in here?
No, I don't see anything wrong with the ceiling either.
It was brown compared to the rest of it. The master bedroom was brown. It
Yeah.
had been smoked in, so that's why I had
This
those
one?
in my bid.
Looks all right to me.
Okay.
But I don't want you to disturb the paper if you can help it.
I was in here on a sunny day.
Yeah, okay. How's the toilet look? Toilet looks grody. Can the camera come in here and take a look at this toilet?
It's very hard to get that out.
You either gotta get that out or we gotta replace that toilet because that's the kind of thing that just turns people off, especially the female version of people. They just don't like grody toilets, so.
Imagine that.
Yeah, so we either gotta fix it or clean it. You think you can get it clean or not? I think it'll clean.
We can try.
You know what though? If you put the blue thing in here and clean the best you can, you put the blue stuff in there. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the toilet. I hate ripping out a perfectly good toilet. We don't have to. Okay? So that pretty much covers it. We gotta get all the lights working. We gotta get all the plugs working. We gotta get plug covers everywhere they go. And all the little stuff. We want L-shaped door handles throughout the house, not these round, ugly things. And so that's pretty much it for the inside. Let's go on the backyard. 'Cause we
That
gotta
door
work.
was, this is one I was gonna change out as well. They had a little dog that wanted out.
Oh yeah, that door's gotta go. That's a dog door. That's what happens when you have dogs. Okay, seems we have a shower in our backyard here. For what purpose, I do not know. I can't imagine why I'd want to take a shower in my backyard, especially when there's no water or pool to come in out of.
I
But
think they had an above-ground pool, because this was a fountain, I think.
either that or they use it to wash their dog with, which seems a little high to me, but anyway.
Big dog.
We got a beautiful lemon tree here, or whatever that thing is. But I do know that that orange tree over there has great oranges because I ate the last one off of it. Now, if you take a look at the ground down here, you'll see that it's all dug up. Another dog fiasco.
I believe they moved some dirt under this fence. Yeah.
And if you walk around here, you see that the dog has had his way over here. So this has all got to be leveled out and spread around to make it even and get all the junk out of the backyard. And show me the damage to the T111 siding.
They used to let us get away if you had rotten wood at the bottom of the sheets. What happens is the water comes down, and they never paint the bottom side of any siding. And if you paint the bottom side, then the water can't penetrate in a wick and draw up into the siding. What they do when you have it rotten all the way around, they cover it with a 1x4, which is a temporary fix to a permanent problem. We could change these sheets out, which would be expensive. We can do cut-ups on them where you cut the siding off at 24 inches, put a piece of flashing up behind it, out over the top of a new piece on the bottom. If you do the whole end of the building, it looks okay. If you do it in sections, it looks like a bad patch job. The answer to the equation here, what we were thinking is, because it's not, there's only a couple of sheets that are rotten that need to be changed out completely, was we would cut up maybe 8 inches high and run a pressure treated 1x8 here with a piece of flashing, similar to the cut up, but just 8 inches up all the way around the house. It would in effect look like the trim you have here, but a little bit bigger, but it would eliminate the problems down the road.
So what do we got? Why do we have to make it wider than the one before?
Because on the other side it's rotten up a little bit higher.
Let's go over there and look. Yep, got some rot right here.
Right there.
Sure enough. So is this?
What they're That's actually T111. That's why it's in better shape.
So is that going to be covered by your 1x8? 1x8 gonna look kind of funny.
Well, in your quote, there's 8 sheets that are coming out completely. That wouldn't work for.
Okay. Well, I'd rather have the one before back if we can work it. See, there's one you got to take out.
Yeah, you got 2 full sheets here. This all the way across the bottom was pretty well.
Yeah. And even though that might have been hidden, it will not be hidden from an inspector who comes out here for somebody getting a loan. And it's also a nice breeding ground for termites.
Absolutely.
All right. Let's turn around here and look at my beautiful shed. I want you to look at that work of art, would you? Is that not a gorgeous shed or what? So Winston is going to take all the junk out of it. And what are we going to do to make this thing look better other than paint or anything? It's going to look crap even if you paint it, isn't it?
No, I don't think so. I mean, you have...
You know, I know what you can do. You can put a couple more sheets of T111, make it look on the front like the house.
Yeah, I would do 2 sides.
Well, that's what to do then. Cut this, take this board off. Frankly, this side's okay. You can paint this the same color and you'll know the difference. And then put trim on the edge here.
Okay.
One before, like the house. And it'll look just like the house. Because it's a good shed. Nothing wrong with it. It's got a nice wood floor in it. It's a good shape. Don't even appear to be leaking. So I don't want to tear it down. Everybody in these places put their junk.
Yeah, it's in really good shape. And
Yeah.
I don't know if that's exterior grade plywood. I have
Well, it doesn't
feeling
matter.
it is.
Doesn't matter if you're going to put
It's gonna
T111
look well.
Yeah. All right, so let's just make a T111 front, T111 side. Fair enough?
Sure.
Looks like we got a good air conditioning. Do you know anything about that? Is that big enough for the house?
I think it's a 2.5 ton unit, and it is big enough for the house, but it's marginal. I mean, if it was in bad shape, I'd say replace it, but it's not more than
All right.
5 years old.
So we're going to leave it for now. Now, we have a pipe sticking out somewhere, don't we? Oh, over here, that we have to tie into the plumbing
Yes.
because our previous tenants decided to tie it into the yard instead,
And
which
it
is not
happens a lot.
exactly acceptable by the health department.
No.
No.
It's in the frown upon dumping your raw sewage in your backyard.
Okay, and you're going to replace that fence across there? And I suggested to you that we put chain link up there instead of an ugly looking wood fence, especially if you fix that front of that shed.
You saw the extra chain link here that I was mentioning we might be able to reuse. It's in good shape and it's doing nothing.
I think you'll leave that chain link alone, because if somebody comes in here and wants a dog, that's why that chain link's up there.
No, it's for above ground pool.
Above ground pool?
You have to have it fenced in. That's
Well,
what
it's
it's
also for a dog.
okay.
For the price of chain link fence and for the 2 short sections, I'd say just get chain link fence company out here and let them put some short sections up there.
You got it.
All right, let's start with the roof up here, Winston. It doesn't need replaced, does it?
You've got a few years left in it.
All right, I mean, I don't see any problem with the roof except the discoloration of it. Don't they have a chemical that you can spray on the roof and wash it down and get it back into where the coloration looks right?
Yes, sir. We can use it's a chemical for cleaning roofs. It's a lot like bleach. It's going to kill the fungus in the mold, give it a light coat, and then take a pressure washer and very, very lightly loosen the what's left of the mold and clean the roof off. And then next thing I would do is take your troubled areas, like your roof boots, your pipe ventilations, things like that,
Yeah.
and inspect them and replace what can be replaced at a reasonable
Okay.
price.
Well, tell you what then, why don't we take the camera and put it over here on this siding while you're at it? Because this is one of those wood-sided houses, and there's some rot problems down below. What are we going to do about this? In this particular case here, you can just replace some siding boards, right?
Yes, sir.
But in the back of the house, we got that big T111 siding, they call it, which is fancy plywood for the exterior of the houses. So let's talk about that when we get back there. But here it's pretty simple, right? Just
Yes,
replace
sir.
the bottom boards?
Yes, sir. This is
Okay.
Louisiana Pacific. It's a product that's proven to not last the million years they said it would. And
Yeah, right. Million years, okay. Now we're going to paint the whole house.
yes,
outside, at least two colors, and really make it look nice with a little bit of paint. And over here, you want to turn that around there, Lauren. We're just going to take this and do what? Just take this garbage out of here.
Yes, sir. I think
mulch it up,
start.
make it look nice. Now we're in the middle of the winter here in Jacksonville, Florida. It's all the way down into the what? 40s or 50s today. Cold enough to wear a jacket, which is rare around here.
Balmy 48.
But too cold to plant flowers in here per se, but not too cold to plant some green plants perhaps. We'll have to figure out what we're going to go in there, but mostly it's just going to be mulched and left for the occupant to put flowers in it in the spring, pretty much, right?
Yes.
Is that what you had in mind? That's what you got on your bid?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, Winston, let's cut to the chase here. I know that changes have to be made to this bid, and I'm fully aware that when you get into a job like this, sometimes you run across stuff that you didn't anticipate. But what I have in my hands here is a bid for the entire job as we just said it, but it does not include appliances, did not include these countertops. It included pad, but did not include carpet. I think pretty much everything else we discussed, with the exception of the tile on the two kitchen walls that you're going to paint, did not include those either. Winston's bid is for $14,400, materials and labor, with what we just showed you, with the exceptions that I just stated. Out of this 14.4 bid, how much of it do you think is going to be for materials, based on the bid we're looking at? Remember, that's no carpet, no appliances, no countertop.
I think we figured about $4,500 altogether.
I figured about $3,500. You figured about $4,500.
All
All right. One of us is probably closer to correct, and my guess is it's probably the older of the two of us. It's just my best guess.
Where will we cry?
Yeah, sure you will. Okay, so that leaves about $10,000 to $11,000 for labor, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. So how many days do you think it's going to take to get this job done that we just described, and how many people will you put on it full time to get it done?
For the most part, about 4 guys is the
4
average
guys?
crew. 4 guys is your average crew
Do
size.
this little old job?
Well, you have 2 carpenters. Well, I don't necessarily have 4 guys that do everything. We will have a separate paint crew. We will have a separate crew that does just the siding repairs.
Okay, so they're not all working 4 days.
Right.
I mean, they're not 4 people are not working the whole time.
Right.
Okay. So to do everything except the stuff like, for example, putting in these countertops, there's no way I want anybody to install countertops unless they do it for a living.
Absolutely.
Okay. So you're going to have painters come in and do the painting?
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of subcontract it out?
Yes.
All right, so how many days do you think it's going to take to get the job done with 4 total people involved off and on?
Realistically, it's a week and a half's worth of work. If you were 9 to 5, 5 days a week, it's going to take you about 9 days. The way these things go, it's going to take you 3 weeks. You're going to, number 1, run into problems. Number 2, the availability of materials. Your window, for example, if it's a custom size, doubt it is, but could be, could take up to 28 days to get here. It just depends. The weather could be a factor.
Well,
If it's
we're in
raining,
Florida. We don't have bad weather here.
well, paint can't be painted in less than 55 degrees. And
That's no
today we
problem.
could not paint a house.
Well,
It
but
would not
tomorrow you
dry.
can.
Maybe.
All right. So most of the work's on the inside.
Right.
There's some outside, granted, but okay.
You do have some drywall repairs. You have ceiling repairs that aren't going to take a whole lot, but
All right.
you can't paint the ceiling the same day you do those repairs.
All right.
So-
Well, first of all, I don't think it takes 3 weeks to do a job like this. I think you're full of crap. I think you can do it a lot quicker.
Did he just say that out loud on national TV?
I did. I could have done worse. Okay. Second, I don't think that it's worth $11,000 worth of labor to do a job this small, because it's what it amounts to. It's about $11,000 worth of labor using your 14.4 bid for what you got here. So maybe you can enlighten us as to why you think labor is at least 2 times and closer to 3 times the cost of the materials on this job.
All right. Oh no! I do work for a living, and if we are estimating a job, no matter what it is, painting or something like that, and we haven't had time to actually sit down and do it by the square foot, we haven't had time to measure a house. My father's been bidding paint work since the 70s.
Mm-hmm. He's old.
Typically, yeah, he's old fuddy-duddy too. Mm-hmm. Typically.
Wait, did I miss something there? No, that's all right. That's all right. You call me whatever you want. Just remember, I'm the guy that writes the checks.
That's true.
All right. Okay. And I'm very selective to who I write to.
I tell you look nice today, and those shoes, they make you look even smarter.
Like I said, you're full of crap. All right.
So, but in a situation, if somebody wanted a ballpark price, we would take the cost of materials and multiply it times 3, and that would be
well,
a quick off-the-cuff price. If somebody,
since I don't like ballpark prices, we need to work on getting that labor cost down because I think it's too high.
Well, you have some.
Excuse me!
There's money in here for a garage door opener.
We got some things in there that I'm going to want to do that aren't in there too.
Right.
So it's going to be a tit for tat, isn't it?
Yes.
So anyway, we get to the end of this thing, we got to cut that labor cost down, don't we? You're going to pull some items out, I'm going to add some items.
Right. Well, the last couple we did, I came in with one figure, and we knocked it down, and at the end of the job, we ended up at my figure 3 times straight.
Only because I added more stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, not necessarily, and
But we always started with less than what you came in with, didn't we?
right.
And then we added more stuff because I gave you the okay to do it.
Well, the last few, you guys gave me the list. On this particular one, I came in after you guys. Everything in the italics was stuff that wasn't on the list you gave me, that I came in so that we wouldn't have these problems that we did last time. Well, why didn't we do this? Well, why didn't we do that? Well, because we didn't go through it with a fine.
Because I put it off on the contractor to go get the house ready to show, and the contractor didn't exactly get the house ready to show. Is that a fair statement?
Depends on how you look at that.
So the contractor and I got into a war, and I finally consented to add some more money to the thing so we could get the thing ready to show, rather than being in a pissing match over it, right?
Yes.
All right, so because we didn't have a good, clear understanding of what exactly had to be done.
Right.
We gonna have a clear understanding this time?
That's why I made a 4-page estimate.
Okay, do we clearly understand that it's gotta cost less than that?
I will go through it line by line and see where I can shave it.
All right, good enough. I'm gonna put you with my decorator, and you and her are gonna work out exactly what to do, so you'll know exactly what to do as far as we can see, and then come back with an estimate that I can live with, which is lower. All right?
Well,
We're gonna add some stuff, we're gonna subtract some.
I want to. What will help in the future, and on a job like this, is if the colors are picked for me. If I don't have to pick a paint
Colors
color.
will be picked for you, because the last thing I want you to do is pick a color.
Right.
And I'm not picking it up.
Wait a minute. The color I picked was the first house that sold.
Your colors suck.
My house sold.
Your colors suck. That's because they were colorblind.
Well,
Your colors suck. We're gonna let the women pick the colors. We're gonna let the women do anything that has to do with decorating. You just apply the crap where we apply it. Got it? All
Yeah.
right. Contractors don't pick colors.
I mean, you understand what I'm saying? It would help me.
And male owners don't pick colors either.
Right.
All right?
Well,
So
depends on that
I'll
persuasion.
grant you, I'm as colorblind as you are. And we know nothing about decorating houses. And I've done 600 or 700 of them, and I still know nothing about it. So, I'm just as guilty as you are.
I can't take it anymore!
So, okay, my decorator's gonna work with you, and we're gonna get the estimate done, and then you're gonna come back with an estimate that I can accept with a 2-week term on it. And then I'm gonna sign off, and you're gonna go to work, and then my decorator's gonna come and tell me that the house is finished, and then and only then you're gonna get paid your last draw. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
All right. So we both survived this, didn't we?
I think so.
Should we hug or something?
Yeah, you want to hug it out?
No. Okay. I'll tune in to the next episode of Contractor Wars, and we're going to see what this house looks like after he's through with it, assuming we can come to an agreement on the bid, which is still about 50-50 at best. So Can't wait to show you the house when it's done, and we'll see what you think. So ladies, take a good look at this video again, because you won't recognize this house when you're done with it, right?
Absolutely.
All right.